Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful Monday, and I am preparing myself to get Ellie from my in laws because I'm going to take him to my wife's school because we're going to have a mini pictorial for my wife's graduation. But I have a leisure of time at this moment, and I want to address this question. You know what? Recently, a person asked me if I feel bad if I overhear people calling me gay or bisexual, even though I already have my own family. I already have a 4 month old son. You know what? I just want um, to answer this question, not to defend myself, but to explain myself. And it's not my responsibility to explain myself, but for the benefit of a lot of people and how I feel inside, I think yeah, it's good to share thoughts sometimes. My answer for this question is both yes and a no. I feel bad for those people who can easily coin these terminologies, calling someone gay, calling someone silahis, which is very offensive for me. It's just because when you say someone is a bisexual, it means that person can have a relationship, a sexual relationship in both sexes with a male and with a female. And I am no exception with this one, just because I even no, it's a little bit sad that I am sharing this experience. It's just because there was a time, it's like a family gathering. I was not there because my wife is having labor, early labor during that time, and one of my relatives, or not one, actually, there was just a small talk in that gathering, and I feel bad just because they were talking about me for I don't know reason. They were talking about me. They were talking about my sexuality, and another person just out from nowhere called me Silahis, which I feel a little bit bad because that term is really offensive. And actually, I have receipts on this, and I don't want to. I try to understand a person, but eventually I also confronted. It's not a confrontation. I just explained myself to that person because I really respect those people. It's a little bit really, yeah. It got worse when most of the people in that gathering agreed about it. I felt bad. It's just because I am sharing this. I felt bad just because it's supposed to be a private thing, but I'm settled with this one. I have forgiven those people, and it's sad just because the people who you are expecting to defend you from others are the one who are actually doing something really insensitive, and that's a very good example. Whether you're a good person, whether you're doing good or bad, people have always something bad to say. And that is something that you have to accept in this lifetime. But the good thing is, um, I am a person who can really move on right away and forgive others. I don't forgive others for them. I forgive others for my own peace of mind. And it really saddened me when I can see people hurt by others using those words, coining those words. And it's a little sad that those people who are calling them are basing their descriptions based on the superficial thing. The way I talk, maybe not very manly. It's not maybe something that is unacceptable as a male. I have some gestures which are fine, and I feel that some people, even I'm taking the tricycle, for example, and a driver will call me ging just because they think that I am a gay, or that I am, I don't know what's running in their mind. But I don't think you should really have to coin that word. If you could also use good words, if you could also coin something that is not very offensive. So it's, before you know we always have this mannerism, or we have this habit of calling someone based on our first on impression. But I think, especially for those people who are hearing this one, I think it's time for us to be very sensitive. Um, it's time for us to be very sensitive with the kind of words that we are using, because the dictionary has a plenty of words that you can use in describing someone else. And if you cannot say something good, maybe towards another person, then it's better to keep it yourself. Just shut up your mouth, like that. It's very easy, because the more you talk, the more mistake you could possibly make. And I have a yes. My second answer for the question is yeah, no. I don't feel bad at this moment when somebody is calling me a gay bakla or Silahis, because I am confident of myself. I am confident that I am not the person. I am not the word that they are coining towards me. I am not the word that they are describing me. And I am confident just because more than that, maybe more than the superficial thing that they can see about myself, I am better in other things. I am a good provider. I am a good son. I am a good friend. I am a good father. I am a good husband. And I have to deal with those things. I have to deal because, you know what? The opinions of others, this don't really matter to me at all. I don't really think I had to live in a standard where people are imposing and expecting from me. I have to live in a standard where I could be a better person. I have my own standard for myself. I have my own hopes for myself. If people cannot accept that fact, then it's not my problem anymore. If people kept on calling me those words, then it's not my problem anymore. If people are expecting me to do something, and they are expecting me to act this way, that is not my problem anymore. Because me myself, I know myself. Those people who truly care and those people who truly knew me are the people which I consider may with these are the opinions and the terminology that I consider to be valuable. And I am very blessed to have people around surrounding me. They are, you know, they are giving me encouragements. They are giving me, they are appreciating every little thing that I am doing recently, and I'm happy about it. And one of the most important thing about accepting who you are is that you can always move on, and you can always be confident, and you can always face people. Maybe if people are calling me gay or bisexual and I'm still doing the act just like what I did before, I am not denying it. I mean, I am not denying it, because once in my life I did the gayness thing. I did some immoralities in the past, and you know what, we are not exempted about this one. Maybe I had a past like that, but everybody has a past, right? Everybody has a past. Everybody commit sins. Everybody committed sins, maybe just in a different forms. So you can judge another person based on the person's past, because the settlement is not based on myself to the public, but it is the settlement between me and myself, and with God. So the opinion that will always matter is the opinion that is coming from God, because it is not really important how people sees you from the outside. It's good if you could show them good things from your outside, because that's a dose of encouragement for those people who are experiencing the same thing as what you have experienced. But the most important person is the person you are, the kind of person you are when the doors are closed. The most important person is a person you are if you are only with God, when nobody sees you. That's the most important person. And the only person who can judge you is the person who sees you in public, in private, and that is God. So if people are calling me like that, I don't feel bad. I will never feel bad because I know myself. I know what I am doing, and and I know who I am responsible to. My actions, the way I talk, maybe you can still hear the gayness thing. That's very objective, and you know what? You cannot even change over time. For example, for those people who are trying to change their sexuality, do not be discouraged. I have been there. I am telling you, do not be discouraged in changing, because if you have that urge, if you have that drive to change, you will always change. And it doesn't happen immediately. It's not abrupt. It's not over time. There's always a process. It's always gradual. The most important thing is you continue the change. You continue the change, the way you speak, the I I always I cannot go out from home without putting on makeup. It's a male makeup, but it's very visible that I am putting something on my face now. I don't even put. I only put a powder for my oily skin, and I can go out, and that's settled. And if you want to change, you can. I am telling you, it's always very difficult to change. It is always very difficult to change if you want to change it. You know what, by yourself. You always have to pray for that kind of change. I remember when I was before I had my own family, I I usually pray to God that, even when we are having a relationship with my girlfriend before, with my wife now, I always pray that, Lord, please change my voice, please change the way I act, please make it a little bit manly. And God has changed me. This is not the way I talked before. It was the worst. It was the worst. But since I am also working as an online teacher, I also have to speak the way I am speaking at the moment. And when it comes to my gestures, I think it's also gradually changing, and I am not that person I was before. I really think that if you want to change, you have you should have the boldness. You should have the boldness, and you have to have that faith that you're going to grow within yourself in order for you to totally change. I am speaking. Um, I am speaking this. I don't know where I am going to in this video, but if you want to change yourself, put the desire first in your heart and pray for it, because your human actions, your capacity isn't enough. You need to have an interventions. You have to have a godly intervention in order for you to change yourself. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult to change. It's more than changing a vice. For example, smoking, or let's say, for example, smoking, drinking, or pornography, masturbation. You know what? Being gay and trying to be straight, this is one of the most difficult changes that a person could possibly have in his life. And if you are experiencing, if you are experiencing discriminations, not even discrimination from others, but discriminating from within, discriminating yourself, discrimination that comes from within, you need to have an intervention. You need to ask God for help. You can never ever do it. You can never ever do it. You can never change yourself in any forms. You can never ever change yourself by yourself. You need to have an intervention. And I think God is the only person who can help you. Because I am telling you, it's God who changed me. And if you are experiencing confusion when it comes to your sexuality, it's okay. It's normal. It's okay not to be okay. But seek help. That's the only thing. Seek help, because if you are not going to ask for help, you will always fall to that trap of the enemy. And everything is not too late. Everything is not too late. I had my girlfriend when I was 2019. I was no 29 years old. I got married last year. I was 32 years old, and I have a 4-month old baby at this moment. I'm going to be 33 this year. And everything is not too late. Everything is never too late. I always thank I always thank God for saving me from that. I no 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 no. I because you know what, there was a time that I am telling my wife like, thank you so much for saving me from hell, because that is where I am going. That was the destination I was heading to. And I was so in denial about it because I'm still keeping things, I'm still doing things even though I'm already in the ministry. You know what? Sometimes you stumble, but I thank God for not giving up on me. I thank God for not giving up on me and giving everything that I deserve. God said, "You've been through in your life, and I think you deserve all the good things in life. You deserve to have a beautiful wife. You deserve to have a beautiful and a very clever boy. You deserve Ellie. You deserve a family. You deserve someone who can be with you, who could who I can channel my love, because we cannot always outgive God when it comes to blessings, especially when it comes to God. If you think that God has already given you everything, God has so many channels in order for you to feel His love for you in every single time in your life. Sometimes you feel so discouraged. Why? God, why everything is so difficult? Why are my prayers not are left unanswered? You know what God is telling you? I have answered all of your problems. I have answered all of your questions. I have answered all of your prayers. You just failed to appreciate it. You know what? Sometimes we pray, Lord, give me this, I need this, I need this. But God is giving you strength for every day in order for you to get get a job, in order for you to get whatever you want, to get your own iPhone. You know what? God is giving you strength. You are praying for love, but God gives you difficult people to deal with. He is teaching you to love these people, no matter how bad these people are. You're asking for a good life, but a, God gives you something that you can earn from. God gives you, you know what? All of the sudden, maybe when I realized this particular thing, I just thank God after. I said, "Thank you, Lord, because I thought you were not moving, but you did. You were moving. You were moving in our lives. You have never forsaken me. You have never, ever left me." If I am having difficulties in my life now, if I am experiencing a very hard situation in my life now, it is an answer to my prayer. Why? Because God is giving me experience. He's giving me lessons that on the next time I'm going to experience and having the same problems, the same challenge, I know how to deal. If God is giving me, is teaching me how to fish now, it's because He is teaching me to have a sufficient life, to have a stable income, to have a stable life in the future. If God is giving me difficult people, He is teaching me to love anyone, love people, even these people are not very lovable. It's difficult to love your enemies. It's difficult to love someone that you are not comfortable loving. But you know what? God has demonstrated the best love ever, giving his only son to the sinners, giving his only son to the people who don't even deserve salvation, then that's the greatest love. And who are we not to give those love to people? Who are we to hate people because of their wrongdoings? Who are we to wish bad things to other people? If these are also the people that we were, and these are also the people that God and Jesus Christ has died for. I really don't know how to end this one, but I am just happy that already I have already given my 2 cents for this question, and I always believe that God has a better plan for you if you are experiencing um, a confusion when it comes to your sexuality. The only thing that you have to do, what makes you stronger, is when you are not fighting. What makes you the strongest, and when you are kneeling. You are kneeling before God and asking God's guidance. The journey might be long. The journey might not be very easy, but I know God is not always going to be there to carry you and to give you hope for every day and to continue to remind you that you are loved, because there's only one reality in life that we can never ever reverse, and that is, believe it or not, whether you like it or not, God loves you. Thank you so much.